What the business is, everybody. I'm Darius. With me, as always, is Phil, and this is Dad Takes Podcast.
What's up, everybody? As Darius said, I'm Phil, and this is the Dad's Take Podcast. And in the Dad's Take Podcast, we want to provide a space for you to feel seen, heard, and understood as dads. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing that by talking to you guys about a pretty sensitive topic called toxic masculinity. So we're gonna get into that in a little bit, but before we do, Darius, let's talk a little bit, man. How you been? How's the family? How's life treating you?
Man, everything is good. You know what I mean? As you can see, they done moved us into a nice house. We not in space no more. You know what I'm saying? Got my little tree in the back. You know what I mean? It's nice and clean. I like it. You know what I mean? It's open.
So for anybody that's
man,
listening on the podcast
good.
and doesn't have video, he's got a Zoom background up, and it looks like some sort of like a studio in New York or something like that. Like
that's crazy. The haters gonna say it's a background, yo. This is real life. This me.
Real
you
life.
Know what I mean?
I get it. Yeah, definitely live in a New York studio, 100%.
Yeah, man. Nah, but I'm we good, man. Chilling. Still doing our thing, man. I just got out of a Korean class, trying to stay up on my Korean skills because
nice.
You know I suck. But,
no.
Yeah. All I know how to say is annyeong, and I don't even say it right. But yeah, man. Other than that, you know, dealing with the kids. Started doing homeschool. So for Z,
you started doing homeschool, or like you're helping Lisa, or what?
Lisa started doing homeschool.
Okay.
I just assist. I'm like the teacher's assistant.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So if anything, if she decides to say something to him, he don't understand it the way that she's saying it, and I'll try to, you know what I mean, fill it in. But that's really all that's been going on over here, man.
I like it.
Y'all? I know y'all just moved into a new house for real.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Y'all over there being adults and whatnot. What's that?
I know,
like?
man. So we, I mean, if you're watching the video right now, you can see behind me that my background's kind of different. We moved into this new house since the last time we recorded. And so that's nice. We got a lot more space now, or really about the same amount of space, but a lot more livable space. We got like more bedrooms and stuff. So that's nice. Yeah. But I mean, moving's a little bit stressful and hectic. So we're still like, we're like 85% moved in now. That's a made up percentage, but we're something like 85% moved in. And like, I don't know how to calculate that, but the thing about it is like we bought this house and we didn't get so we bought like a new built house or whatever. And we didn't get any add-ons because they wanted way too much money to like have all these add-ons included. And so we're like, no, we'll just do it ourselves. So like, for example, one of the add-ons is the backyard. It's like they'll landscape the backyard for you, but they want like way too much money for it, and they're just gonna put some like crap in your yard, like throw some sod down.
Yeah, man, you could just throw me a couple bills. I'd throw down some goddamn sod if that's all it takes.
Right. So what we did basically is we're like, nah, we're good. We're not gonna pay that much for it. So we've had to like we brought in like 3 truckloads of dirt. But unfortunately, there's no way to get to the backyard with a trailer, so we have to like dump it in the driveway and then wheelbarrow it back. So like that's like not my favorite.
Man.
So like it's a lot of dirt to wheelbarrow back and forth. But Eileen does most of that work because she likes playing in the dirt.
Mean, well, you need to get in there too, man. Get them arms right. You know your arms looking kind of small.
That's all shoulders. I mean, my arms have always been small, but that's all shoulders really. It's.
Hey, how the girls dealing with the move? How are they adapting? How are they adjusting?
They love it. So the reason that we picked this house is like twofold. One, it's closer to my wife's parents, so that we can like have the kids hang out with them more and sort of give them some chance to be near them. But the other reason is
definitely necessary.
Oh, it's nice at least, not necessary or whatever, but like it's super nice. The other reason though is because the house is directly across the street from this like open park. And there's like a ton of kids in the neighborhood. And so like the girls got like 2 houses down from us. There's these 2 kids that live there, these 2 girls that live there, and they're the same age as my kids. So like it's cool because like when I was a kid, I had these memories obviously of like playing with my neighborhood friends. But where we lived before, there weren't any kids. And like I just saw you with like with Kai going out to play with the neighbors too. So like these kids come over and they're always like knocking on the doorbell or on the door, and they're like, can Nina come out and play? And we're like, yeah, definitely. Go away. Like, go outside and play as much as you can. Like, get out of the house.
So did y'all already meet the neighbors, or it's just the kids talking? The kids.
No, we met. So as far as I know, there's only women that live in this neighborhood except for me. because every time we take the kids out to play, it's like all the moms at the park watching their kids, and then like the dads are, I don't know, doing whatever the dads are doing.
Word.
I don't know, but like, so I joked with, there's a dude that lives behind us, and I joked, and I was like, oh, I think you're the only other man who lives in this neighborhood, because I've only met the moms out of most of the families because they take their kids out. So, but yeah, no, that we've met some of the neighbors. We'll see if we become friends or not. Everybody's still settling in. Like, that everybody's just moving in the neighborhood because everybody's got garages and no one parks in their garage because there's just boxes in all of them.
Hey, keep it real, man. Did you get this house because we went and got our new house? Is that why you moved?
Yeah, that's it. Honestly,
you didn't want
that's
me to
it.
show you up.
That's 100%. Yeah, no, you got that like Gucci ass apartment in New York City. And I was like, I gotta upgrade a little bit.
It was. I felt like that's what it was, man. You know what I mean? My joint over here is looking real nice. I was like, man,
does look
I was
nice.
real happy about it. And then all of a sudden, you moving into a new house too. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Well, I didn't mean to show you up, but sometimes it happens like that. So I appreciate you letting me take the shine for this episode. Maybe you can give us a tour of your apartment next episode.
Yeah, man. Next time, I got
honestly,
you.
Actually, post it on the Facebook. You should do a tour of your new apartment and post it on the Facebook page. That'd be really cool.
Yo, that is a really, really good idea. I will consider doing that. I will definitely think about doing that. But yo, without further ado, let's jump right into this topic, man. I'm actually pretty excited to talk about this. It's been a little bit, since we got on the podcast. I don't even know if I remember how to do this. So, hey, let's just jump right in, man. So, like Murphy said, Phil, as y'all know him, I still call him Murphy. We're going to be talking about toxic masculinity today. So, in a few words, Phil, what does that mean to you? When you hear the phrase toxic masculinity, what does that mean?
Man, so I know this is a topic that you've been passionate about, and it's not really a topic that I've had previously considered a lot, which I guess is like a super uninformed man thing to say, that I've never thought about it in a way. But like, I guess toxic masculinity, after I looked into it a little bit, is basically like this idea that like manliness is directly tied to like machismo or being tough. So like something along those lines. So like being a man is the equivalent of toughness, and there's no other sort of emotion or feeling that can go with being a man other than being tough.
Right.
Correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Oh, please don't act like I'm the authority. I am not, sir. It's just something that when I heard it made sense. When I hear people talk about it, it's just like, yo, that's something that makes sense to me, man. So like when I first heard toxic masculinity, right, it was brought up by like a feminist group or, different feminist activists.
Sure.
And they were like, toxic, these men are so toxic. And I'm like, man, nobody toxic. What you talking about? So
right.
Then, they start bringing up, just different ideas and different facts. It's like, yo, why is it that when a boy cries, you tell him to stop? He got to stifle that crying. You ain't no girl.
Yeah.
Because girls is the only ones with emotions. Girls is the only ones that cry.
Sure, yeah.
And then, just when I was brought up, at least, I don't know if you can vouch for this, but I was expected to fight. When boys fight, when boys, beat each other up, boys are they're
being
just
boys.
Boys.
Yeah. That's a telltale sign of toxic masculinity, right? Is the phrase like boys will be boys. That's like one of the things I read is like that's a telltale sign.
And what's crazy is like the further we go down this like I don't know, I guess this rabbit hole. It's like, do you remember Ryan Lochte? The dude who like swimmer?
Did some shit in Brazil. He like beat up something about a gas station.
He was I'm pretty sure he was like sexually assaulting people over in Brazil. And
yikes.
They said that he was a kid. This dude is like, he was like 33 at the time, dog. He's just a kid. He like, boy. Number one, this is a grown ass man.
Yeah.
First, two, that's not like just boys being boys. Men
No,
are just rapers. We don't just go around with our dicks all hard and like, oh, I can't control myself.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So like when I heard it first, I definitely was a little apprehensive.
Triggered?
I was definitely like, yo, I'm not toxic. That ain't what I do. But I definitely subscribe to a lot of these kind of toxic traits. But for me, man, when I hear it now, essentially it's just any act that is like harmful or detrimental to someone else's kind of like humanity. So if I'm crying, if I'm sad, if I show any type of emotion and you are telling me that that is not manly, then that's taken away from who I am, because I'm obviously, I'm a man, right?
Right.
That is what I identify as. If you tell me that because I do X human thing that I'm not a man now,
yeah,
like, what? What do you?
Yeah, I mean, you're like stifling an entire part of who you are as a person by saying that that's not a manly thing to do, in a sense, right?
Right. So, and we was talking about it a little bit, man, but like, do you have like any recollection of any times in your life, in your childhood, maybe even like in your military career where you thought like things was just like, whatever, but now you look back on it like, nah, we was definitely being toxic in that sense.
Oh yeah, 100% of the time. Like, so like one example that I can like distinctly remember from my youth, and it was like me being toxic. It wasn't like necessarily toxicity sort of like pushed on to me, but it was definitely me being a toxic dude. But it was also me being like this. So we'll get to this, I think, but like it was really just me being insecure about like who I was as a man. And I was like pushing that onto somebody else in the form of this like toxic masculinity, which wasn't a thing back then. But like in 6th grade, I went through this thing. My mom got remarried to the dude she's married to now. Awesome guy, whatever. But then I was like, oh no, I'm the man of this house. Like, because my mom had been single, and like it was me and my sister. And so I was like, oh no, I'm a man. I know how to be a man. I don't need no other man telling me how to be a man. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? Because again, boys being boys, I was like, oh, I'm going to show out. I'm going to act like I'm fucking tough, like I'm a badass. I'm going to, like you said, get into fights with people. And it was this dude who was like super nice. I remember his name. Whatever, I'm just going to say his name. His name was Brian. And like, spoiler alert, he's not listening. And so, so we like, for some reason, we were like, oh, this dude's like, I don't know, man. We were also like other shit too. We weren't like just toxic masculinity. But we were also like homophobic and fucking weird as kids. We're like, oh no, this dude's fruity. He's
kind of plays into it, man.
It does, right? So like, and again, we may get into that, or maybe we won't this one, but like, so we're like, oh man, this dude's a bitch. Yada yada yada. Again, we're in like 6th grade, man. That didn't even mean anything. I'm just like regurgitating shit that I think is like a cool way to put down other men for some reason.
Yeah.
So anyway, like that's the whole thing, and it was nothing. It was just like he was nice and kind, and we were like, that's fucking what a bitch. Like for some reason, as if
being nice to me for?
As if niceness is some sort of negative indicator of manliness. But like as a 6th grader, I was like, yeah, he's not. Yeah, what is he, a girl? He's being nice. Like, it was just, like, the stupidest shit ever. But, like, looking back on it, I'm like, God, that was so stupid. But, like, at the time, I was like, yeah, this is totally normal to, like, pick on this guy for being kind. I mean, what about you, though? Like, I can't imagine I'm the only dickhead who, when I was a child, was just, like, out here roasting people for no damn reason.
And that's the reason why I laugh, man. It's because when I think back on it, man, there's too many different examples of, like, that exact scenario.
Yeah, man.
If you're not being like angry or violent or funny, because funny is also an okay trait.
Yeah.
Then you are being a girl or a bitch.
Yep.
So man, like I think I definitely, when was it, man? So I was like bullied. Not really bullied. I was bullied. So my neighbor across the street, he wrestled, and he used to, take it out on me and his brother, and like, sure. Okay, that's cool.
Call it practice.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I want to get strong too. So my dad had a backyard gym, you know what I mean, just weights in the garage. And he would go out there with my cousin, they be lifting weights. I'm like, yo, I'm about to lift weights too.
Yeah.
And my dad didn't want me to, thought I was going to get hurt. Long story short, I ended up lifting weights anyways.
Sure.
So
I mean, obviously, if you're watching the YouTube video, there's no doubt that he lifts weights.
So,
let's give it a like for Darius's biceps if you're watching the YouTube video.
Hey. So from 8 years old, I lifted weights. So I've always been like a large kid, but
That's
I
why
come
you're so
back
short.
after that summer. You know what I'm saying? And when I wrestle him now, I'm beating his ass.
Yeah.
And now I'm large. People don't really mess with you in like the way that they do with scrawnier kids if you're large.
Sure.
So I use that to my advantage, yo. Like, I get angry because if I get angry and I'm large, I get what I want.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the thing about that is not who I am, yo. I'm generally happy. I'm generally like just a goofball, silly. And I'm super duper sensitive, yo. And I really didn't realize that until like I got married and I really started reflecting on a lot of the stuff that triggered me. Like, what makes me angry? Why do I get angry? Well, one, you know what I'm saying? It was a mechanism for me to get what I wanted as a way. But when you're married, you can't really bully your wife into doing it. I mean, you can, but that's called abuse.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? You got to find different ways to articulate yourself. But the reason why I get my feelings hurt like super easy.
Yes.
But I can't allow you to see that you've hurt my feelings, because that's what bitches do. And
right,
I'm
that's
not no
weak.
Bitch. So I'm just going to get mad.
Yeah.
And
so I'm actually sorry. So I'm going to cut you off for a second here, and I just thought of this, and it's like one of my favorite stories of like being friends with you. And as we've been talking just now, I realized that this is like
you about to say, man?
You know what
I'm about to say, yo.
Look, man. So I didn't realize it at the time, but you and I were having like a toxic masculinity battle in a single moment. So you know what story I'm about to tell, man. So we're drinking, having a good time. So my version of toxic masculinity, because I'm not big, I'm not strong, and no one cares if I'm angry because I'm not big or strong. So mine was what he described as like humorous. I like try to make people laugh and like put people down through silly little jokes and yada yada yada, make myself feel better by making other people feel bad. That's sort of my version of toxic masculinity, right? Well, as Darius mentioned, he's a little bit sensitive from time to time. And so one night we're drinking, having a good time. We're at this house party, and I've like apparently taken it too far in Darius's mind, right? Because like I keep egging him on, and like he like walks away, and then he comes back and I egg him on some more because I'm just like being an asshole. I don't even remember what I was.
Your favorite thing to do,
because I could like get under your skin in like 1 second.
Hey yo, if y'all don't, I don't got comebacks. This mofo, he will sit here and drill me, light me up. Only thing that I can do is, yo, F you, your mama.
Or sorry, Mom. She's listening. Sorry, Mom.
You know what I'm saying? So, I wasn't saying you,
Right,
I was just saying, like, your mom. Not you, Miss Murphy. I'm sorry. But,
sure.
So that's what he would always do, man, and I would get super pissed off, yo.
So this night, apparently I crossed the line. I took it too far, and Darius is always like, "Yo, I'm gonna beat your ass," yada yada yada. I'm like, "You're not gonna beat my ass." So this night he was gonna beat my ass. I know he was gonna beat my ass because he grabbed me by my shirt and lifted me up off the ground. And in this moment, I was like, oh no, I've made a miscalculation. He's going to beat my ass. And so then me, being the type of asshole that I am, I'm like, well, shit, do I just take this ass whooping? Or like, how do I get out of this? And so in my head, I'm like, well,
I'm going to double down.
There's only, double or nothing on this motherfucker, right? Because like, I can't beat his ass. Like, at this point, he's like, like a freaking, like, as we talked about in the last pod, knocking out Golden Glove boxers and shit. I'm not going to beat his ass. So I'm like, all right, well, double down then. So then he's got me, like, by the shirt, pinned against the wall, literally about to whoop my ass. And I'm like, cool, Darius, that's real fucking manly. You're just going to beat my ass right here in front of all of our friends because you're too weak-minded to deal with some damn insults? It worked. He did not beat my ass.
But I was so pissed off. Yo, he got me. And then he stabbed the knife, damn the nail in the coffin. He put a knife through the middle of the coffin, dog.
I thought I was gonna have a hole in my chest from your fist, though. So honestly,
my boy said, "Oh, you gonna beat my ass in front of my friends?" And I stopped.
Had to double down, baby, double down. Otherwise, because that was it for me, boy. That might have been the end of my existence.
Nah, that's hilarious, man.
But like, if we're being for real, that was just like me being toxic as could possibly be, and then you being like, well, I'm not gonna get outmanned by this dude who ain't manlier than me. I'm gonna be more manly, and I'm a whatever. I'm like, that's a prime example of us both being idiots.
Just dumb.
Started
And
by
the more-
me and you thinking that it was not okay for you to have your feelings hurt, and then you got to outman me by whooping my ass. And like, we were both just like insecure and going at each other, just trying to be like stupid, really.
I'm going to be more manly than you.
Yeah.
What's more manly than me whooping your ass?
In front of all of our friends.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, and honestly, I think that plays into a lot of the reason why cats like murder each other, to be like frank, to be
for
like
real.
blunt about it. Like, yo, I really feel like it's a lot of cats who get their feelings hurt, man. Your boy said something, or some dude said something, he embarrassed you in front of your friends. Now he gotta die because you embarrassed and your feelings is hurt, dog.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a man. That's what men do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I don't want people to think like I'm saying like men have to be less than so that they aren't toxic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like there's no reason why my manliness needs to belittle your manliness.
Yeah. That's what I was doing that night. Yeah.
We can both be men in the same room at the same time in the same capacity.
Definitely.
And it is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gotta be the biggest man in the room. I don't have to be the most brolic man in the room for me to be a man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think a lot of cats get that shit twisted, yo.